Alabama survives a upset attempt by the South Carolina Gamecocks, winning 29 to 22 thanks to a late kind of trickeration touchdown. Was it a run or was it a pop pass? I forget. But regardless of that, Alabama got into the end zone late, and South Carolina is not a team that's built to come back from behind. The fact that they were behind at the half by 8 points and managed to take the lead at some point by eight and at a 16-point swing was pretty impressive. Before I continue, liking the video, watching the video all the way through, and commenting your thoughts down below are the best ways to support the channel, as they help push me into the algorithm, help me to receive a larger paycheck that I can use to reinvest in producing elite analysis for you all. Subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, sharing the video around, and supporting us in other ways that you can find out via the description are other awesome ways to support our operation at College Football with Sam. We are becoming the best. We want to be the best. Thank you all for making that possible, I will say. But Alabama, I'm not going to say their win was impressive, but they won. They got into the bye. And I don't think that some people, as my channel's traditionally been a Big Ten channel, we're expanding here to be a national channel. I don't think a lot of people that follow my channel will give Alabama the flowers that they should be given. Not saying they're the number one team. If we're looking solely at merit, you probably have two, if not three, Big Ten teams ahead of Alabama. If you're looking at power ratings, however, even after a game like this, there's still an argument for them to be number one. Think about how they beat Vanderbilt by double digits. They beat a Georgia team on the road who's undefeated otherwise. How they beat Wisconsin in a similar fashion Ohio State did, where I know Wisconsin scored 14. One was a special teams touchdown after I believe Alabama took a 30-point lead. The other was a garbage time touchdown. And think about how they beat Missouri on the road with a healthy Bo Pribula. They had a gauntlet. They got through it. They're into the bye. And at 5-0 in the SEC, and with the remaining schedule they have, there's a great chance that they win out. And even if they don't with that head-to-head win over Georgia, they probably still go to Atlanta anyway, especially with the quality of schedule they have within the SEC. This was a close game. I will say my view of Alabama offensively is certainly solidified, where they have the potential to have an elite offense, but they struggle to run the ball. It's actually a very similar situation with Ohio State. Ohio State has, I would say, at this point, better receivers. That's pretty obvious. I don't know about tight end. As for quarterback, I think that Sayin definitely has a better arm. Simpson's probably better on the ground, but I'd give Sayin the overall nod at quarterback. O-line, I would probably give to Alabama, just mostly because of them having Caden Proctor, and Ohio State doesn't have anyone like that. Running back would be very close. Offensively, they're similar teams, where through the air, awesome. On the ground, you're probably better off throwing it more than you do. But for balance purposes, the fact that the coaches want to be able to run the ball and they're working on it, Ryan Day and Kalen DeBoer do so anyway. This was a hard-fought win for Alabama. It's more of a gut-wrenching defeat for South Carolina, because you're standing at 3-5, you're 1-5 in the SEC, you were ranked in the top 10 at one point, and you're nothing. I mean, even if you win out, go 8-5. The season was not particularly a success. You outgained Alabama. You ran all over the Crimson Tide. I mean, LaNorris Sellers had one of his better games of the season. He did. And yet, here we are. And there's not much else to say about that. I did just learn live that the stats aren't correct. I don't know why that is. I thought my guy updated those. Some of them are correct. others are not. But regardless, South Carolina outgained Alabama 333 to 325, and relative to what South Carolina has shown on the ground, running for 111 yards, factoring in Alabama's 2 sacks, with Sellers leading the way, I think is pretty impressive. With South Carolina in their remaining schedule, at Ole Miss will be a chore, at A&M is going to be hell. Unless they win one of those 2 games, they're suffering a losing season with LaNorris Sellers and Dylan Stewart. But that's really their entire team. They just have them and maybe DQ Smith and at times Nick Harbor with his talent, but I don't think South Carolina has developed all that well. They haven't shown much this year. I mean, cool. You played Alabama close. You played Missouri somewhat close. You beat a Virginia Tech team who fired their coach and a Kentucky team who's winless in the SEC. Cool. That's nothing. That's very disappointing. The fact that they couldn't even play Oklahoma competitively at home, or LSU on the road, or Vanderbilt competitively at home. I know Sellers got hurt in that game, but Vanderbilt was going to win even if Sellers played. That's disappointing. And that reflects poorly on Shane Beamer and his staff, and especially Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator. That hire has been a bomb of a hire, not in a positive way, bomb in a negative way. I don't really care too much to talk more about South Carolina outside of their efforts and leading 22-14 about midway through the 4th quarter. At that point, I did think South Carolina was going to win, but Alabama did this thing where we saw this with Kalen DeBoer at Washington, to a lesser degree with Alabama last year, and we've seen it with Alabama this year, where you are trailing on the road and you do have a chance to lose, but you come back. Or you're playing an inferior opponent and kind of messing around a bit, and you win and you pull away. Kalen DeBoer at Washington did that countless times. This is, in truth, I would say, really the first instance here. Because Missouri's much better than South Carolina with a healthy Prebula. They pulled away. They won. They have LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn remaining on the schedule. So they're guaranteed to have 8 wins. And I know that they play Auburn on the road. But is Hugh Freeze even the coach at that point? We'll have to see. Is Brian Kelly even the coach at the point where they host LSU? Oklahoma on the road would be tough, but at home with a team that is better than they were last year and is going to want revenge on Brent Venables in Oklahoma, I don't know. At the very worst, I think this team goes 10-2, and at that point, they're in the playoffs no matter what. They're probably still in Atlanta at 10-2 with the head-to-head win over Georgia, and at best, they win out and they possibly win the SEC and get a first-round bye, or they lose in the SEC title game but still get a home playoff game. This is one of the better teams in America, and I know that some people, especially in my more Big Ten audience, will get frustrated by that, but watch how they played against Georgia, watch how they played against Vanderbilt, against Missouri, Tennessee. All of those teams are top 25 in power ratings, and Georgia's top 10, Vandy's top 15, a healthy Mizzou's probably top 15. I don't think Tennessee's all that good. I don't. But Tennessee got a lot of empty calories in that game and made it more competitive in the final score than it actually was if you watch the game. The Florida State loss is bad, though, and that's why, from a strength of record and from a merit standing, if you're a Big Ten fan, you're right. There's plenty of Big Ten teams who should be ranked over Alabama, especially Indiana and Ohio State. But from a power rating standpoint, just pay attention to this Alabama team. They're not going to go away. They're not going to go away. They survive, they advance, and I can't imagine they will play as poorly as they did in this game at any game remaining in the regular season. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure, if you haven't already, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment your analysis and thoughts down below so I can reciprocate my thoughts with you in the comment section, and check out anything on these end screens that are up here. Whether it's a recommended video or playlists for teams that I'm talking about in a preview, prediction, or a reaction, make sure to hit the notification bell on those, scroll through them, and watch any suggested videos if you are interested. Thank you for helping college football with Sam become the best and the biggest college football brand and channel on YouTube and other social media platforms. We will reach that one day because of your support.